Hi everybody, this is Todd Olthoff from toddolthoff.com coming back at you with another screencast. And this week we're going to take a look at the Time Machine service that is built into Mavericks server. Now, one of the benefits of having Mavericks server is the ability to set up wireless Time Machine backups so that you can back up all of the different Macs in your household through Time Machine. You can do it over the air. You don't have to be plugged into the network, though you can plug into the network if you want to. And so the Time Machine service makes that work. Now, for some of you, you may have experimented with attaching a drive to your Airport Extreme base station and setting up wireless backups that way. And while it does work, it kind of works on and off. And there are times when the backup fails and can cause some problems. But here, built in with OS X server, the Time Machine service is supported by Apple. And so therefore it makes these backups possible. Now, as we get started looking at the service, a couple of things I want to just tell you. First of all, the Time Machine service built within server is not to back up the server itself. Okay, so the server itself would go through a regular Time Machine backup, and I'm going to do a separate screencast on how to back up your server and the various files and things that you need. This service instead, like I said, is to have a place, a centralized place, to back up all of the different Macs that you have on your network. So just wanted to make that that difference for you so that you understood that, because a lot of times people will come into this and go, well, how come I can't back up my server? Again, that's because this service doesn't do that. Your server is kind of the source for making these wireless backups to happen. Okay, so this is the Time Machine service here, so we'll take a look at it. You can see I've got two tabs. I've got a Settings and I've got a Backups tab. Just like anything else, as you can see, the status is off. I don't have it turned on yet. But what I did do is I turned it on before just so that I could get this set up to show you how this works. Now, your Time Machine destinations will show up in this window right here. So as you start, you probably will have no volumes in here. And that's okay, because if you want to add a volume, all you have to do is come down here with the plus button right there. And it will allow you to create a new destination. And so what you do is you basically just choose where you want the backup folder to be stored, where you want it to be created. Now, the nice thing about this is you can put the Time Machine backups on any drive that you have attached to your Mac, to your Mac server. And so that makes it very convenient because you can just continue to add storage if you want to. So if you just click Choose, you can see it just brings down a drop down that allows you then to kind of surf to where you want to put your backups, which drive do you want to put it on, and all of that. In my case, I had chosen the Drobo. Let me just cancel here for a minute. So you would choose where you want the backups to go. Now, understand that these backups are going to be made, are going to be created are sparse image bundles, and so what that means is it's like a DMG file. For those of you that are familiar with those, when you download a piece of software, you have a DMG file, which basically is an image file. So it's creating an image file for that backup to live in. So it's not like a regular Time Machine backup that's connected to your Mac where you just sort of surf all of the different folders using the Time Machine window. Instead, it's creating sparse image bundles on your drive, and that allows it to be able to hold multiple backups without you having to partition the drive that you're using for Time Machine. So again, it makes it convenient. Now, because of that, Time Machine can take up a lot of space. You do have the option that's been added here, which is a great add here in Mavericks server, to limit each backup to a certain size. What I recommend on this is probably maybe double or 3 times the size of your drive that you're backing up from the different Macs that you're doing. Again, you want to make sure that it doesn't exceed the capacity of the drive you're backing up to. But I would do that. So if you had a 500 gig drive, I might go either 1 terabyte or I'd go 1.5 terabytes. Just depends on how much backup you want, how far back in time you're going to want to go. That'll determine how big you set this limit as. But the nice thing is that it basically, like I said, allows you to manage the storage on the drive that you're backing up to without having to worry about whether you're going to run out of space. So it's nice that they've put that in here. So I'm going to uncheck this. I'm just going to cancel because I've already created a drive. And let me just show you what this looks like. If you have a drive on here, you'll notice it shows you where the volume is. It also shows you how much space you have left on this. So I've put this back up on my Drobo. And as you can see, let me just click. You can click the pencil down here to edit it. And you can see I put it on my Drobo. And I've limited each backup to 1,000 gigabytes, which basically is a terabyte. So that's what I've done to to limit the backups. So I'm just going to cancel that, but I just wanted to show you what that looked like. Now you'll notice here that it shows the file path, volumes, Drobo, shared items, and backups. That's because Server creates these files for you for your backups. So let me just pull up a Finder window here. And let me just show you what that looks like. So here we are, my Drobo. You can see there's the shared items folder that it creates. It creates this backups folder. And you can see here that it then creates these sparse image bundles. Let me just pull this out so you can see this one actually says sparse bundle on it. For each backup. So this is a particular laptop, this is another one, and this is another one. Okay, and these are the image bundles that keep the backup on them. And like I said, each one of these is limited to a terabyte. They won't get any bigger than that. And so it puts every one of your computer's backups right here in this folder. So if you ever wanted to track them down, or you were on your drive and wondered what this new folder is, this is the setup that Server does once you set the Time Machine service to be live. Okay, so let me just pop that down. Okay, so once you have that set up and once you have everything ready to go, all you've got to do is throw the switch to turn the service on. And so you can see the service is on now. You say Macs on your local network can be backed up to the server. So that's all set. I've got green lights, so everything is ready to go. Now, once you actually set up your backups, you'll be able to see in this tab right here the various computers that you have backing up through Time Machine on your server to the folder that you set up. So you can see here I've got these different computers, same things that I showed you when I showed you in the Finder, and it also gives me the size of each backup. So this one I started and stopped just to kind of show you what it looks like, but you can see it doesn't know when the latest backup is because I had turned the service off. Once I turn it on and each of these computers connect, then it will also tell me what the latest backup was. So this again is convenient because you can see if a computer's been off for a while and hasn't backed up. As a server administrator, you'd be able to tell that, and then you could see if there's a problem and go fix it, or find out if Time Machine got turned off or whatever, but it would allow you to troubleshoot then based on that. Okay, so that's the service. It's all set up. Now, one more thing I want to show you is how do you connect to it on a client machine. And so let me just, I did a screen share here. Here's a screen share of a laptop on my network. So you go into System Preferences, which you get to just by the Apple, and you go down to Time Machine, and you go to Select Disk. And basically what you want to do is select the backups disk on your server. Now I've had a previous backup on here, which is why you're seeing the available disks down here. You see the one that I've got up here. You can see that it's my server through AFP. So I've already got that set up. So if I just click cancel there, all I got to do then is throw the switch, and then it starts to look for the actual disk, and it'll start the backup. You can see the next backup's going to start a little later. If I wanted to, I could actually just go up to Time Machine and say backup now, and then it will go look for the backup disk, mount it, and then start the backup. And so that's how you do it. That's how you set up the backups, and you would do that on each of your machines, and then you've got everything up and ready to go. So I'm just going to pop this down and come back in here. So that gives you an overview of the Time Machine service in Mavericks Server. This alone is probably one of the reasons why you might put Server on your Mac if you're not into the other services. This is a great thing to have, to be able to centralize your backups and have them done over the air so that people don't even have to think about it. They don't have to plug into a drive. Is really a great feature. So that's all I have for this week. I'll be back at you next week with another screencast to help you learn how to do more things with your Mac.